Hello, this is Tijuana, the real estate apostle, living my best life coach, and today is December 6, 2020. This is your first time at my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. My channel is dedicated to mindset and helping millions of people to get mentally free with mindset. Today I want to talk about narcissistic personality disorder and how to avoid getting entangled with someone who suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. All right, so the narcissistic personality disorder is one of several types of personality disorders. It's the mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of self or their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships. So that's why it's important not to get entangled with them, because you are going to be in a toxic relationship. And if you're like me, I have been entangled with narcissists in the past and been free, but continue to draw them in. So today I'm going to give my top 8 tips on how to spot one so you don't, get entangled, because as you're healing, that's why I was saying my channel is dedicated to mindset, because as you're healing, you got to get your mindset right. That's going to help you to be able to kind of deflect, and you won't be attracting them as much. But the important thing is to remember is when you do attract one is to be able to spot them before you get entangled. So I'm going to give you my top 8 tips on red flag. Number 1. You meet the narcissist and they're too good to be true. That should be, red flag number 1. A lot of times they'll come and they'll mimic you and they'll present themselves as your soulmate. And what they do is they've already probably looked you up on Facebook and did all the investigation and kind of try, ask about you. They'll do the good research. And then they will come and they'll interrogate you pretty much. And a lot of times you won't recognize it because they'll come with, over the top flattery, and they call it love bombing. So you'll be swooning from all the compliments and the attention, because it's unreal how much it is. So in the beginning, if it's your first time to get entangled with one, you won't really recognize it. But after you've gotten out of a toxic relationship with one of these narcissistic personality disordered individuals, you'll see that they all come from the same playbook. They do the same thing. So you'll notice when you're getting I could get, an occasional, hey, gorgeous or beautiful. But even if that kind of talk just comes out, that's the first part of the conversation, that's your clue right there, because regular people don't come with, a whole bucket of all these compliments. So, and, it's just too good to be true. And usually if you feel like it's too good to be true, it is. So make that clue number 1 with the love bombing and this whole guy is too good to be, or girl, is because there's women that suffer from it too. So men need to watch out too. But if the personality is too good to be true, it's true. That is too good. Number 2, they act like a salesperson. Like a guy will come up, he'll try to meet me, and I'm like, I'm not really interested, I'm not really dating, but they'll just be real persistent and continue on. That's the clue right there. If somebody can't accept the nice no and they continue to pursue you when you've said you're not interested, that's your clue right there, So this one guy is like trying to talk, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. So he gets my number from a friend, and so he calls, and I shoot the breeze a little bit, but then immediately I say, hey, I'm not interested. And he continues to call. So, I end up having to block him. So if you find yourself having to block somebody because they won't stop calling you when you've asked them nicely, you've been direct, that's a clue right there. Most narcs are notorious for that whole, it's part of the love bombing thing too. And if you say no, or, and the person just can't accept no for an answer, that's your clue right there, because regular people understand and accept boundaries from regular people. Narcs don't. Number 3, they tell you what they think you want to hear. And what they've done is they've already, like I said, they know a lot about you before they even come up to you. Like, they rarely go in blind. They would have asked about you. Like I said, they'll look you up on social media, and then they'll come in with the talk on things that you might be interested in or that you have shown an interest in, and then they tell you that kind of stuff. So, and then they always say, here's another key word too, you're my soulmate. They always present themselves as the soulmate. Like, you know, that's their mask that they put on, the soulmate. Number 3, oh no, that was number 3. Number 4, number 4 is they can be very controlling. They'll try to control everything. Like, you know, again, with all those calls and stuff, if you're just meeting somebody, you shouldn't be receiving 2, 3, 4 phone calls in a day, 5, 6, 10 text messages in a day. Like, that's excessive. That's a lot. Like, you know, even if you do know a person really good, that's still a lot. Like, that's your clue right there. And they all do that. So usually if I get somebody and they've, you know, repetitively call, text, and always there, that's my clue right there. This person is gonna be a problem. So I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna get tangled up in there with them, because that person is very sick, you know, because that's excessive. That's ridiculous. That's not normal. The other thing they do to distract you in the beginning is they put words in your mouth. Like, they'll start telling you some things that you said that you didn't, or they'll tell you how you feel. Like, oh, you really like me, or you want me, and they'll like put these words in your mouth, and they will project onto you. That's another trait right there. When they start projecting, that's your clue to, you know, get out of there, because, you know, if you you know, especially when they, you know, you want me and all this stuff, because they I don't know why they think everybody wants them, but they will do that. They'll start to, it's all mental manipulation to, you know, gaslight you. So you'll start, maybe I did say that, you know what I mean? So clue number 1 there, and they'll just keep talk, and before you know it, you could be really thinking, maybe I did say that. So be aware and guard yourself too, and don't argue back with them. Like, if you have been confronted with one of them, just, you know, do the gray rock technique, and that just means, you know, just go silent and don't give them any energy. Try to, you know, keep your be very still, because they need, you know, all that. They looking for that. So just let them do that, and then just get out of there and make a mental note not to, you know, be around that person, because they are sick. Number 6 red flag is that they all say that the ex is crazy. Every last one of them, the ex is crazy. And if you've been entangled with one of them, you know, you're the crazy ex to the, you know, new victim. But that's their opening line, is they, you know, come in so you can feel sorry for them, because the ex is crazy, the ex abused them, the ex did all these mean, horrible things to them that they are going to do to you. Basically, what they're telling you is the horrible things that they did to the ex, and they just changed the names, like because yeah. So that's why it comes off so believable, because it is true, but they just change who, you know, the parts. Like they, you know, were actually the victimizers, and the ex is the person that was victimized. See that right? Anyway, so clue number 6 is the ex is always crazy, and 2, they want them back. The ex always wants them back. They tell you that. But basically what they're going to do is they're going to go hoover the ex when they discard you. So it's like a little triangle that they do the same thing: love bomb, devalue, discard. And then they hoover back, you know, the ex that was crazy to now, you know, offend you with this, you know, or sometimes they get a new supply. But for the most part, they usually have like, there's an ex that's going to be hoovered back. Yeah, so that's number seven. This is the clue in the beginning. You can spot this and it'll save you some time where you'll know not to even get involved with that person. I say they call it, I call it the ding dong ditch, where they'll come approach you and get you all riled up and stuff, and then say something like, I'm gonna call you, right? And then they don't call. So you could be like, well, you didn't call, or for you to call them. Like they'll purposely, you know, knock on the door, and then when you go, hey, what you say? And then they go some other place. It's crazy, you know. So or I call it Charlie Brown. Like they'll get your attention. Like remember Lucy would hold the football for Charlie Brown. Yeah, come over here and kick it. Then you go run and then snatch it out the way so you can fall up. Yeah, so be careful because they are very good. If anybody is like really giving it to you and saying, you know, they that they're gonna do something and then they don't, and they want to see your reaction. And now I'm just gonna say this here, number 7, the narc smirk. If you know, you'll see the smirk on their face because they'll just be so excited that you fell for it. Like they get quickened when they see you upset or, you know, disturbed or distracted in some kind of way. They feel like they, you know, it's part of that control thing. Like they feel good about that they got you upset. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So, you know, stay away from people like that want to play with your feelings to do things that so you can have a painful experience or feel stupid or something, like, you know. So yeah, I call it the ding dong ditch. Watch out for them. All right, and number 8 is they are highly sexual. Like the first things coming out, you know, they try to go bing right for the dessert. Like if somebody's coming or showing porn or trying to show dirty pics and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? If you're getting flashed with nudie pics and stuff like that in the beginning, that's the clue right there, because usually you got to warm up to a person first. You don't just come right out with, the naked pics or requesting naked pics or, showing naked pics. Like, you know what I mean? So that's a clue right there, because they don't have any real deep emotions. Everything is superficial. A lot of them try to manipulate and control you with sex. So anybody who's like coming right away with all the compliments and then they're just highly sexual, it's everything is think about is sex, is another clue. So like I said, I've been doing a lot of research on this narcissist because I was entangled for a brief moment with a very sick one, and it took me a while to get out of, or to get that narc out of my life. And this was back in 2018, so I've been free, but I started to notice that, there were others around and stuff. So, it's not a one-time fix. You have to constantly be aware, because until you heal from whatever's in you that's causing you to allow somebody to abuse you, you'll continue to, you'll replace that narc with another one, because you haven't, tuned into yourself to, be enlightened. So what I always say is that, stay read up, studied up, watch YouTube videos, do everything that you can to get yourself out of that, and just try to, get free before something happens, like some kids, or they get you trapped up in America. A lot of them will try to trap you with a baby, and that's like a whole other little story. But anyway, I'm going to just close out here right now, only because just the other day, a narc tried to get me with this whole, and I was grateful because I can see him coming, like this smirk. I see it. It's right there. And so I'm just excited that I have learned, and that I'm able to, before any type of mental anguish or anything, or I've lost any, I didn't have to give up nothing, that, I was able to spot them and get out of there before they came and wreaked havoc into my life. So stay positive, love yourself, Love yourself more than any narc, and you'll be fine. So every day is a new day. Love you. Stay tuned.